The Bulls are a baseball team that does more than just hit pitch balls and run around the diamond. Starting from modest beginnings, over the following 40 years, it has, under some great leadership, grown from one team simply playing baseball on a Saturday arvo to over 7 teams playing in their own Martin Foster League, and they all use baseball as a means of helping, mentoring and generally looking after each other. Put simply, being a Bull is now bigger than baseball, where people are not measured by their baseball ability, but how they help and develop other Bulls and stay true to the Bulls' philosophy, which is competitiveness arises naturally. Bulls accept this and endeavour to use it as a positive advantage. Social integration and cohesion are considered more important. True Blue Bulls never forget the club's origins and accordingly accept and encourage the participation of young and old, experienced and inexperienced. Every effort is made to ensure that all players get equal ball time, irrespective of ability, during minor rounds. Fees are kept to a minimum and therefore members of the herd are expected to participate in minor fundraising activities. This is where we are today and how do we get here and who were on the journey.
Martin Foster, Bullfrog, been associated with the Bulls since day one, 40 years ago this year.
Phil Hart, drinkable for some reason. Officially a Bull 87.
G'day, my name is Bill Magoulianos. I've been a Bull since 2001 and my Bull name is Responsible with an O-R, Responsor. Sponsored the team for a while. And don't be fooled by this protective exodermal layer. Beneath this is a finely tuned baseball machine.
I'm Dip Margura. I've been with the Bulls since 2008 and my Bull's name is Stumble.
My name's Jamie Bishop. My Bull name is Unpredictable and I've been a Bull since 1999 through to 2016, so 16 years.
Keith Bagor, affectionately known as Delectable, and I think I've been involved with the club for about 8 years now.
Hi, my name's Greg Milburn. My Bull name's Erectable and I've been with the Bulls since 2003.
So Mark Bullace, Bull's name is Autumn Bull and been with the Bulls for over 10 years.
And I'm Ty Bullace, Bull's name Bullace, and I've been with the Bulls for just over 4 years.
Greg Abro, known as Undetectable, and I've been at the Bulls technically since 1998, but I've been playing since 2007.
Jack Shear, I'm concussable, and I've been with the Bulls since 2011.
Karen Tyndall, my Bull's name is Capable. I've been a part of the Bulls for about 8 years now.
Hello, my name is Kim Smith. I've been a Bull for about 12 years. My Bull name is Uncontrollable because Controllable was already taken. Being an air traffic controller, I think that's fitting in both counts.
Hi, I'm Jim Davison. Been a Bulls umpire for many years. My Bull name is Controllable.
What did I envisage 40 years ago? I envisaged a few guys having a bit of fun on a Saturday afternoon and I think it's grown from there, and I think a lot of that growing is the calibre of the person that we've attracted, have got kids that are Bulls and daughters that are Bulls and really pleased to see that. So 40 years, wow.
When we were one team, our end of season trips were actually focused around the kids.
Yes.
And they were absolutely sensational trips, and it was like going away with family, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. In those days it was one team, so it was pretty easy to control or manage, and any funds that we made out of the Bull Bar would be spent on an end of season trip, and we would go to Wallaroo and we'd go to Harndorf and we'd go to Waikerie and take the kids and the wives, and the kids were 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 type of thing.
Yeah.
And you know, some of those kids are playing baseball, are playing for the Bulls now.
Yeah, well, my two are.
Yeah, and that's a special part of what the Bulls has been too, I think. So
one of the things is how we value each other and how everyone has a desire to pitch in and help. And there's absolutely, in my mind, no better example of why that is with the club than the fact that it was founded with Martin Foster, and he's instilled that right from the first day.
The baseball is secondary. It's a community.
I think the biggest difference is that some of the people out there can only just play the sport but have as much fun as anyone else on the field. There's nowhere else that you'll find that sort of a spread of people. Everyone's there just for a good time.
The Bulls enjoy playing the game more than winning, and a win is a bonus on top. It's all about playing the game and having fun with friends and family.
You fall over and look like an idiot and you don't get ridiculed for it. Well, you do, but in a loving way.
We're not a sporting club that socialises. We are a social club that likes to play baseball. And many would disagree with me, but doesn't matter. As the president, I found myself charged with the responsibility of making that the Bulls' philosophy was stuck to pretty seriously.
It's been an honour and really an opportunity to be able to see the vision that others in the club have got and have had, and be able to try and take that further to helping the club develop into what ultimately we expect and hope that will become better and a larger club of more diversity and a greater number of people playing in the community in Mitcham.
The Bulls' philosophy, in a nutshell, is the general inclusion of everybody. We all get to play baseball equal time. We expect each and every Bull player to be a Bull, and our job as a player is to be interactive.
We all work hard during the week, and I think Saturday afternoons is an opportunity to unwind, mental health break, camaraderie, I think, with friends, and a bit of baseball in there, and obviously, a bit of fitness gets involved too, so,
Yeah, fitness.
Very demanding sport, baseball.
That used to happen back in the 90s, I believe. It's a disappearing art.
Everyone has a good time playing, and everyone plays at having a good time, some better than others. I enjoy the interaction of everybody of all quality. It's a terrific place to be.
Pleasant Saturday afternoon, enjoying sport with no pressure. We're all out there to have fun, and it's also a development thing. We have a lot of younger players out there playing with the older players. The older players pass on all the little tips, and we all have a great time.
It gives me a genuine outlet apart from my home life and my work life, and a great group of mates that I spend quite a bit of time with in a given year, sometimes playing baseball, but more often and more importantly just enjoying each other's company.
Being part of a good group of people, some really good guys who support you both on and off the field. Social club first, baseball second.
Yeah, and look, that's how I see it as well. It's good that Ty wants to play. Arguments about who's the better player, etc., or who's the least worst player. But it's a great environment, and the boys have seen it and they've seen enough in it to want to do it.
I think it has to be mateship. We get to meet great people, maybe even people you wouldn't normally be socialising with, and through the years, as you play in different teams, you get to make a lot of friends, and they're the type of friends that I think will last a long time.
Out in North Australia, I wouldn't know him if it wasn't for the Bulls. So, about finding a lot of mates and playing with other people that you wouldn't really play with.
We play against, 14, 16-year-olds and all the way up to
50, 80-year-olds.
60-year-olds. So, it's a wide range. I think it's a good way for guys our age, I think, to learn a bit of respect and
definitely
for the game. So
it's all about family. It becomes an extension of your own family. I think one of the biggest things for me is the mentoring of the young guys. I actually started with the Bulls when my son was 13, and part of that was for me to play with him as well. So that was a great experience for both of us to do that together, and just to see him grow and develop, playing alongside mature aged guys that can really help him develop and hone his skills. I think that's been a really valuable thing for him. And I guess if you look at where he is now, I really credit the Bulls Baseball Club for the majority of where Josh is in his baseball career at the moment, as far as pitching Div 1 and his opportunity to go to Czech Republic to play baseball. I really attribute that to Bulls Baseball.
There's probably too many to remember, but most recent one was the Wooden Spooners game in the 2016 season. So Wooden Spooners, the two teams that were bottom of the table, so 6 and 7 played off. I think it was before the semi-final, and suggestion was that we got dressed up in fancy dress. So, you know, to have everyone from a SpongeBob to a Mr. Incredible to a T-Rex. We had a police sniper, an actual police sniper's outfit, so you couldn't really see him when he was lying down on the ground, to Jimmy, our umpire for the day, wearing a half Bulls costume, which made him, Jim's obviously not the tallest of the individuals in the club, and so when he was standing still, it looked like he was actually, the bull was grazing. So to see that, to see the players trying to make plays, was just absolutely hilarious, and something that I think is now cemented into folklore, and will continue to do that every year. Was really quite good.
Remember Bill, our past president, was dressed up as the wrestler with his big flowing blue cloak, and the people riding around on the backs of geese, and that was a real fun, good day.
The costumes were brilliant, but none more so than the sight of a guy in a full T-Rex costume playing shortstop and doing a pretty magnificent job for a guy who only had little arms. So Will Yunt really did add to that day, I've got to say.
I never ever thought the day would come where I'd see someone dressed as a Tyrannosaurus run down a batter at first. It was amazing. It was brilliant.
With an American accent.
Yeah, Canadian accent.
Canadian accent, yeah.
The thumb, the cap for the era, which I'll lay claim to that. My first year of coaching, I introduced the thumb for the thumb ball. There were many times when a game was held in suspension, even out at the RAF base at Edinburgh.
Yes.
We'd call time and out would come the thumb.
Yeah.
And it would stop play. The umpires would say, what the hell is going on here? So, yeah, there's plenty of others that just don't come to mind.
That's a good point, the thumb. I recall an innings where the thumb changed heads about 5 times.
Yeah.
So that was like 5 errors in one innings, and that's very bull-like.
Yeah, well, we do it with panache.
That's very bull-like.
Big FUM on the brow of the cap, so that when we make a mistake, just go on with it. I remember a ball being hit towards the pitcher. It was Jamie Bishop at the time, and I'm looking for the ball, but the ball actually went over there into the shortstop area or second base, and I'm waiting for the ball to come from Jamie, and the ball came whistling past my head from shortstop, or I don't know where it came from. Yeah, silly things like that, you know.
Oh, some of the funniest things I've seen is the people in this room try and hit a ball or field one. And you think after 40 years, Froggy would get better, but no.
I think also watching fathers and sons play together. We had a Sons of Bulls team a few years ago, and watching the sons dominate as opposed to the fathers, and the fathers not being very happy about that, I recall was quite amusing.
Look, some of the funniest things Ty would have seen at baseball was me fielding at second. Or maybe, I don't know, what are the funniest things you've seen?
I don't know, that is like a bad scene out of the Special Olympics.
Yeah, when you see me play, I know mentally a lot of people have the Benny Hill music playing in the background. Yeah, but no, there's lots of funny things. Some of it's been at the expense of others, but a lot of times it's just been about guys making fun of each other.
again about past President Bill Magoo. Looked at a pretty good fast ball down the outside edge and I rung him up on strike 3 and he was not pleased, I could see that.
He would tell you it was an edge, but we all know that it was 3 feet outside the plate. So I just looked at him and shrugged and walked away. And my next at bat, I came with two bats taped together.
So he had about 6 or 7 feet of wood that he could swing at it. And what I should have said, but I wasn't quick enough to get Bill, what I should have said is I can go further than that. But that was one of the funniest I've seen.
I'd got round to third base, which is not somewhere I tend to visit an awful lot. But I did get round there that day and I decided I'd start taking the mickey out of the catcher a little bit, sort of, edging off the base and you can't catch me and, doing a few little shakes at him, and then suddenly everyone's just laughing at me. And going, what? What's wrong? And I was out. I didn't even see him throw it to the pitcher who'd thrown it to third, who's just standing there saying, "Hi, I've got the ball." No one seemed to care. I mean, a few people wondered what the hell I was doing out there anyway. But, you come back, everyone has a laugh, and as usual, you're going to have a beer afterwards and have a good laugh about it.
The other one I will bring up at this point in time is Bob Booker, looking up into the clouds. When we'd go out to play baseball and it was very threatening and he'd go, "There's no rain in those clouds," and down it came.
You could almost...
And was it washed out? Yes.
Yep, you could count on it, you could bet on it.
Yeah, so thank you, Bob, for that. Yeah.
A game that I think I was playing third base.
No, you were at short.
I was at shortstop, ball was hit in between us, Jack was at third base, so I've run behind him and trying to throw the ball to first base. I've ended up throwing it into
my stomach.
Your stomach?
My stomach.
Jack ended up bowled over on the floor.
I hit the decks.
I was laughing. The runner, I think, was laughing.
They stopped halfway down the baseline, started laughing. I could hear everyone else laughing, even my mum.
Yes. That was a good one.
Yeah. Just the general paying out of Jamie Bishop's pretty fun.
Yeah.
That's always fun to do.
That's fun. That's life though.
We try to make every Saturday fun, really. We can't just say one.
Some very funny moments that have come up over the years with people who have taken getting fit very seriously, leading up to, say, an Alice Springs Masters trip, and encouraging us all to spend probably about 8 to 10 weeks of hard weekly training so that we'd be superbly fit for that opening game at the Bulls Masters in Alice Springs, and then watching this fella come up to bat, and we're all feeling fit and we all know this is going to be a great series, and then as he blooped a shot down the first baseline and tried to leg it out and blew a hamstring that you could hear from 20 miles away on his very first effort at the plate. It was tragic, but it was pretty funny.
The famous Norm Sluger eyebrow removal event that Zulu was able to do and lived to tell the tale, and probably Zulu's the only one who could have got away with it with Norm. He's not a man to take prisoners. So that was very, very funny, and for those that were there, you'll remember the sight of him with a bit of his eyebrow removed, and for those who weren't, you can just imagine how happy he would have been about it.
The hecklers who accuse the umpires of being blind, I answer it, yes, we're blind and we're also deaf. We don't hear those things. But I do remember another funny day where one of the spectators was training guide dog puppies. And I said, here, let me have a lend of him. And I grabbed the leash, walked out on the diamond with the apprentice guide dog. And that brought the house down.
The club's 40 years old. In that 40 years, it obviously started from small beginnings, and slowly grew to a decent sort of level of teams. I think 4 teams probably about 6 or so, 7 years ago. And then over the last few years, we've developed even to greater number of teams, to the extent where this last season we had 7 teams. And that posed challenges in terms of how do you run 7 teams when you've really only got 3 slots every Saturday to be able to play baseball. So the next 40 years is vision that I have, and is not that I'll be playing baseball in 40 years' time, but it would be good if I could. Some say I can't play baseball now, most do. So another 40 years might be able to hit a ball. But realistically, just to be able to take the vision that others have had and build on that to ensure that we've got something that we can pass down to the new generations coming through. A great basis and platform to be able to grow a even stronger community-based club that has the same ability in terms of organising the club itself, the same desire and the same expectation that all club members are involved and participate in activities within the club. No free rides, no one's there just to drop kids off and to be able to walk away. Everyone has to be involved, whether it's cooking a barbecue or whether it's helping out, setting up the grounds or scoring, whatever it might be. They need to be involved. They can't just come along and play. So more of that, more of getting more involved in the community. Visions that I and the executive have really are things like becoming more, having a more social competition than we currently are, and become a more important part of the community, so that no matter what happens in ability to be able to secure grounds or things like that the club is actually strong enough and has enough contacts through the community and through council and through government to be able to secure our future going forward.
Yeah, what is the future of the Bulls? In 2001 when I joined, there were 2 teams, and I believe the 2 teams had been running just for a very short time. I was proud to be a member of the club last year when we found ourselves fielding 7 teams. And I see that a very dedicated man named Jamie Bishop has initiated a Sunday competition called Coach Pitch or something, where those people who no longer have the talents or are like to develop the talent new to the game come out and do a bit of Coach Pitch, which is a friendly pitching rather than an opposition pitching. I think that is a very good idea, a very good initiative. That's the way it's going to be, and the teams will always increase in numbers. It's difficult to get 6-7 teams in one diamond these days, but the 2 days I think will eventuate.
What do you expect the Bulls to be in another 40 years? To be perfectly honest, I don't envisage much different, which is a bloody good thing. I see a solid foundation has been made through the likes of Bull and Wendy. Frog's wife has been sensational over the years. That foundation is there, and I can't see anything or any reason why that should break at all.
I think not a lot different from what they look like today, and I say that because the Bulls have got young people coming through that we've groomed, and we've identified that their attitude to playing ball and their attitude to having fun and their attitude to putting in make them a Bull. Yep. And I have great confidence that that will continue. I'm thinking the likes of Phil's sons and Mark Borlase's sons and Jared Holland, for argument, and Tinny, for argument's sake, too. They've all got the right attitude, and I'm sure they've got the Bulls at heart, so they'll continue that.
Yeah, so I think Martin Foster has really instilled that into everyone involved, not just committees, but every single person that plays. Being a Bull is so much more than being a baseballer, and he's led from the front from the day it started, and still all these years later he's still easygoing. He listens, he helps out, he suggests, he encourages. It's just a great bunch, and a lot of it's to do with him.
40 years on, I think one of the advantages that the Bulls have got is they've got the recipe right. You've got men looking after the interest of other blokes, and especially the young blokes. It's not something that you can force in a club. People actually have to want to do it, and that recipe exists there, and it's been fostered by the leadership team, including Martin. And that legacy, I think, will live on for quite a while, because it's a strong enough culture now that I don't think it can be washed away very quickly.
Yeah, I guess for guys like us, I think the most important thing is for the Bulls to keep going into the future, and same thing kind of happening, you know, as
more
Jack
or less staying the same.
Jack and I get older and we become, you know, more.
We take what we've learned
official
as this age into the older age, and
then
keep
you
it
know
through.
the young guys coming through keep building on that as well. Yeah, I think probably one thing I'd personally like to see is maybe some outside clubs coming back into the competition, so we can, I guess, maybe spread a bit more rather than being a bit more being localised as we are now. Jack started
I
as
started
opposition.
in 2010 as a West Torrens player playing in the Bulls League, and I ended up coming out to the Bulls because it was much more enjoyable than playing with the regular people I play with all summer. And I wouldn't think of going anywhere else now.
Yeah, so I think that'd be a goal for the future.
Definitely.
Maybe gain that
Integration
integration
with
back
other
a bit,
clubs.
but.
What else do I want to say about the Bulls is that I've enjoyed every moment of it, and I will continue to enjoy it. I may not play much longer, but I'll be around, and you know, like all of the guys that put in, it makes the club successful too. And I've enjoyed the camaraderie and the lifetime friends that I've made too.
And I'd add to that, just thanks to everyone that I've come in contact with the Bulls, because it's without getting too
don't get emotional.
No.
Emotional.
But I think I really believe each one of us have enriched our lives through the experience of being a Bull.
Yeah, can I say that there's been some health issues for some of us, and there's been some divorces, and there's been some troubled times, and there's been a lot of support from fellow Bulls during that time,
Definitely.
hasn't there?
Definitely.
Yeah, and that's helped us all get through. So for that, I say thank you, and I think Phil would too.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
My tattoo, I did it because the Bulls meant a lot to me.
That is the Bulls, and the first 4 decades have seen us grow, and we owe so much to those who have pioneered the club and navigated it over time to what it is today. The future looks in good hands to keep this journey and the Bulls philosophy going. So come join our Bulls journey and be part of what we think will be copied by others who are interested in having a healthy community.